Getting the team named, squad name, that's kind of the first step for you guys, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, there's been a fairly large group training ongoing for the last couple of weeks, but just in terms of strength and conditioning more than anything else. So, yeah, it's good to get that first thing out of the way, and then now we can focus starting next week. So we've got a fairly short run-in regards training time, but we'll make the most of that, obviously, about 7 sessions all up before the first game.
Plenty of guys going head-to-head this weekend in the grand final too. Creates a bit of an interesting rivalry there.
It will be, and I guess a lot may also depend on injuries in that. So with 1 round to go, grand final time, it'll be a pretty tough outing. So some very interesting clashes in that day, I'm sure. So I'm looking forward to that. From an NRC point of view, it's good to be able to have a look at that and see how they go.
You're a former Queanbeyan coach. Did you have to do much convincing to get Robbie to pull on a red jersey at this stage of the week?
I was just listening to his comments then. He said it was good to be back in those colours, so I'm sure. Yeah, look, I guess a big part of my job will be just getting rid of the Brumby tag and the club tag, and representing ACT and Southern Inland. So that's the important factor from where I'm coming from, and those guys have done it before, and I'm sure after this weekend, they'll refocus on that with a new image, and it's all good banter at the time anyway. Yeah.
You coming in, do you feel like you've got a little bit of a uniting presence? There's always sort of been a feeling I'll take one again, but you coming in with, you're not necessarily tied to the Vikings. Does it sort of help smooth over any tensions in clubland?
I guess we might answer that question at the end, but look, it's probably an advantage knowing a lot of the guys from other clubs as well. So, it's not just Queanbeyan and Royals, but there's, players from Union North and Gungahlin as well.
It's a good spattering all.
It is, yeah. So it's good that I've known a lot of those guys, and some of them I've coached before. So I'm not sure how they're feeling, but I'm certainly feeling a lot more comfortable about that. It'll be a matter of me getting to know some of the contracted players, so it'll be a kind of a different perspective for me, but yeah, it'll be good.
Are you looking forward to the opportunity? It's a next step up for you as a coach?
Definitely. It's something that I look forward to for a while, and I'm excited, a bit nervous as well, but certainly excited about it. Had a chance to meet some of the other coaches last week in Sydney, and they're in the same boat kind of thing, so it was good to see how they're feeling and where they're at, not that they gave too much away, so yeah, I am. I'm excited about it, and really looking forward to it.
It's going to be a real sprint this season, isn't it? Only 9 weeks all up, 7 rounds, and two weeks of final. So starting is going to be really important.
It will be. The first game is away at the Gold Coast, and then the next 2, they'll all be tough. But certainly the New South Wales country game here with Sydney Uni Randwick players, with that realignment of the Sydney team, that'll be really tough, and then Brisbane City the week after that. So yeah, those first couple all kind of paved the way either way, I guess.
Yeah. And the intent of the competition is still pretty clear. 6-point try, 8-point converted tries. So it's going to be attack, isn't it?
It will be. Those sorts of score lines. It's all out, tap, kick, go, that kind of thing, and speed the game up. It was interesting looking at the stats. Actually, the ball's in play more time than Super 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, the squad is going to be pretty important to us, and the depth of that, just the up tempo and recovery time will be important. So it'll probably be a chance for a few rotations, and yeah, I think the depth of the squad may be a real advantage for us.
The guys are talking about the strength of the local comp, and I suppose the last few weeks have been a bit like a mini pre-season, getting ready for the speed of the game. So the gap between Canberra, Brisbane, Sydney isn't so great anymore.
Well, I've said that this time last year. I mean, I guess I was feeling a bit cocky about it all, but I think, to be honest, there is no gap. I believe. I think the John O'Dent Cup level and the standard and this competition this year has shown that. Like anyone in that top 4, 5 probably can do anything on the day, and the closeness of the comp was a good thing for the local competition, and the more, I think it's been a great step forward to have those Brumbies players stay within the local comp. That was probably the biggest turning point a few years ago when Jake brought that in. So that's been a real positive to the competition and what they bring to the club, and And certainly the level of coaching and the level of standard of the players improved dramatically. I think it's certainly the equivalent to Shute Shield and the Brisbane comp. Yeah.
There's about, a dozen, 15 players in Tuggeranong and Queen Vinn's lineup. So,
yeah.
Boys playing, can they play themselves into a spot this week?
Look, I think things may take a week or two to pan out, and a lot will depend on injuries and opportunities. I think we'll look at that as it comes, but certainly with the rotation, and I don't think I think there's a lot of guys at a level that can certainly compete at an NRC level, and then hopefully show their wares to perform at the next level, and that's really the object of it. But yeah, look, I think those guys are certainly up to that level and that standard, and players when they are that, they will certainly rise with the players around them. We all know there are some players probably that don't have the quality of players around them to show their full capability, and suddenly, they get that opportunity, and there's a whole new level of football opens up for them. So it'll be a matter of us as a coaching team to have confidence in them, and we certainly have that, otherwise we wouldn't have picked them. So we're not looking to carry anybody. So,
what about Carts and Rory Arnold, two guys that are going to be pretty driven for game time to force their way back into that Wallaby squad? It's a good situation to be in, I guess.
I mean, it will be, yeah, and that's something that we'll need to look at. But there's probably a few possibly within that, and with injuries in the internationals and so on, a lot can happen from there. So, we'll just sort of cross that one cross that bridge as it comes. But no long-term plans at the moment, other than that first game up, and then we'll go from there.
Any young players or any players in general you're really looking forward to coaching?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. I probably don't want to single out any. I'm going to miss somebody. Yeah. But so yeah, there's certainly some players that haven't had that opportunity before that are at a good level at the moment, and certainly will probably jump at the chance to have a crack at that. So I think it's a matter of just getting that whole squad together on the same page, and then I'm sure those young guys will make the most of their opportunities. Yeah.